One.
Hello, and
everyone.
welcome to the Women's Cave. Yes, I stole your line again. I stole your line again.
Oh, whatever. I'm not even caring anymore. Next
Whatever.
time we're gonna take turns. We're gonna do this civilized like.
Sure, y'all know by now, which only I can call her. But I'm Jade, by the way.
And I'm Walona. We remember to introduce ourselves.
What? High five!
We're getting so good.
We're getting good. I mean, after a while, we're gonna actually be acting professional. That's a lie.
Oh, we better
Let's
not.
never go there.
I will actually go through with my threat on the last show to show you my toes. They're gold and black. Really? Oh my goodness.
Okay, so anyway, we are the anti-thought lady.
I'm the anti-mad lady right now. My toes are gorgeous.
We are the co-founders and the co-authors of the anti-thought lead. Well, the co-founders of the anti-thought leaders and co-authors of the anti-thought series. And today, we are super excited because here we are.
You know how we always say that they're public faces? Voila.
Welcome to them. Welcome to we're in our local paper. Yes, yeah, you guys, I know we've been around. We were doing a whole bunch of things, but it's nothing like being home.
Wait. I want to brag for one split second. You know, so US, UK, Ireland, lovely, all around Malaysia. Yeah. We got to speak all there. But once you come home, you're like, look, people, I actually am real.
I exist. I'm not just making this up and saying I have a fantastic life, and I don't.
Which is really sad because someone texted us like, oh, wow, you really are going somewhere now. You're in the newspaper. I was like, really? My plane just touched back down in the US. But anyway,
it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But we're going to let that go. It doesn't really matter because we're not here to talk about us, as always, but we are here to talk about our books, Plug-in Time in the Beginning. And we're going to start with And I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons. And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy. And I Thought I Could Juggle It All. And I thought I did my journey alone. Wow, I just really messed up that last title.
Oh, quickly, remember, lots of positive thinking, hope, love, everything for this one, because this one is the Maven PR group is putting us in for the NAACP Image Awards, and we need them, all 15 of the committee, to at least finish the thing.
If want them to finish it.
If they could read it and nominate us, we'd be so
excited.
Happy.
Whatever, they could just finish it. Yay!
Anyway. So you recognize that there's like 3 squares today? That's because like someone actually joined us because she liked our guest.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't co-host. It wasn't anything about us though. We're not surprised. Co-host, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hey, it's Trust of Trust Hair and Makeup Life, and I'm very excited to be with you guys today.
Oh, we're excited to have you. I mean, although you're outshining us, you're looking great. As normal, Trust.
They all look great.
So she's bringing Trust Simon's bringing makeup, but the lovely lady at the bottom of our screen, our wonderful, wonderful guest, is bringing hair, and she's back here the second time for our silliness. Would you mind introducing yourself?
It's great to be back. Yeah, my name is Debra Whittam, and I'm the author of Am I Gonna Be Okay? Weathering the Storms of Mental Illness, Addiction, and Grief. And it's so good to be back. I couldn't wait to see you guys again. And it's so great meeting Trust. This is fantastic.
I know she's happy to meet you, and I'm going to stop talking.
Yes. We have a couple of questions, of course, for you, Miss Whittam. The last time we were discussing about grief in the family and how you have to have someone else to talk to outside of your family. Why was that important again?
Well, what happens is, and it seems generational and it's probably universal, that when someone dies in the family, many cultures, and most people think you go to then someone in the family to talk about it, to be able to heal and not move forward because you're always going to have that loved one. But you think you can go to family and you cannot because they're suffering themselves, right? Everyone in the family has or had a relationship with this beloved. And so you'll notice, I mean, some people will talk, sometimes sisters will talk, but if somebody really wants to start the healing, which means I'm going to talk about my mom and her death with you, and I want to be able to show my emotions and get real gut, because that's where the healing starts. And that does not happen with family members. It just doesn't. We sit around the table, we say, you were strong at the casket, very good, and then move on. And so it really takes someone, a therapist or someone in a group like I run, where we can talk to each other and not feel like we have to hesitate because we don't want to hurt mom. We don't want to upset the sisters. And I don't want them to really know how I'm feeling. You know, this is embarrassing. In my family, really getting gut emotional it wasn't like pretty, nor was it allowed. You have a smile and that's it. Yeah. So grief is a real big one. And so most people will, instead of talk about it, drink, drug, eat, not eat, spend, sex, gamble, overwork, over God, and then exercise, you know, and all the different things. But no one wants to talk about it, really talk about it.
Wow. There are a lot of really serious things. You listed every vice, but while you were saying that, I was like, yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, that'll feel great. Yep, that'll taste wonderful, and I'd look great too. But I'm sorry, I had to make it lighter. I got really sad, you know, because, you know, mother had passed. Therefore, I was like, I got to come back from the sadness hole right now. Can't do this on camera.
Not on camera.
I'm going to find someone outside of the family to talk to.
Yeah, and it would be great if we were closer because that's what really works. You know, and it just does. It's kind of that phenomenon. That's why the 12-step works, because in addiction, families cannot help one another at all, ever, but they go to their deaths trying. Yeah. You know, the family members, it just gets real sick. But as far as grief, yeah, I mean, it used to be that we could wear black. Grief was respected and honored, right? You wear black for a year, you would put things in the windows and drapes on the door and wreaths or a black band on your arm. Now you may get a day and they're calling you throughout the day to see if you can help them still at work. Right.
Okay, so now I feel bad because I took like 4 months off. I was like, people, I'm not coming in for 4 months.
See, that's the exception, but that's fantastic because that's it. You know, you can't lose somebody with this relationship you've had and not be impacted by it.
Exactly.
Huge, huge, huge.
Okay, trust, seriously. You put up that cup one more time, I'm going to be so mad.
Because I'm coming over.
Yep.
And we're finishing the whole
when I'm at your house, you're going to be so mad.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Debra, she has a lovely new juice.
What we like to call
new juice.
Well, we say it all the time in the women's cave. You can have a glass of whatever you like in the women's cave.
Dig it.
Glass, and I'm like mad at her. I'm looking at her like,
pineapple juice.
Yes, a glass of pineapple juice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I believe that was mentioned in the grief section, but I don't know if she's grieving anything.
Well, you know what? That's another thing. Social drinking. It's drink. Someone's an alcoholic if they decide they are one. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not the courts, not the family, not the sisters, not the spouses, you know, and people want to get help and they're ready. So, but this is interesting. So this is a social drinker. Ready? Mm-hmm. A social drinker does not think about alcohol until they're asked if they want one. They don't make sure they have enough. They don't make sure they go to restaurants where there's a bar. This was me 12 years ago. And social drinkers dig this one. Stop drinking because they don't like the way it makes them feel. What?
Okay, who wrote this article and why? Because I mean,
that's just what's out there as far as trying to decide who's a heavy drinker, who's a moderate drinker. But this social drinker thing is out there and people grab onto it, even if we're like drunk all day and all night, because I'm social with somebody. But a social drinker is somebody.
The voices in my head.
I know. Yeah. But a social drinker is somebody who stops drinking because they don't like the way it makes them feel.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Trust, would you like to jump in on this? Because I just found out that I am not a social drinker.
Well, actually, I believe that I am a social drinker because what she said, I don't usually ask for a drink until I'm offered one. So
that's it.
I can totally understand. But there are a lot of drinkers out here that claim they're social drinkers and they have to wake up to a bottle, go to bed to a bottle.
Yeah. And
drink that bottle, then they start drinking on your bottle.
Oh no, you don't.
What? What do they do? Wait.
But they consider themselves social, but
Yeah, and I did
I
too.
beg to differ.
Yeah, but I did too back in the day when I wasn't ready to say or do anything about it, you know? Yeah.
I believe, Ms. Whittam, that you had said that anxiety often leads to these addictions. And it's one of the things that Trust Simon, let me make sure, Trust Simon, that was one of the things you liked?
You said what?
What she was talking about last time.
Yeah. You know, because I had periods of anxiety myself, so that's what really made the show touch home when I was watching it the last time, and I really liked what you guys were discussing, because there are a lot of people out here that have anxiety and just won't accept it, or they think it's everyone else around them when it's really themselves and what's going on in their mind that's messing them up. But they'll blame this person, blame that person, self-medicate, like you said, drinking, smoking, everything like that.
And that's exactly it. So anxiety is a human condition. We all have it, right? And anxiety is passed down through the generations. So I remember my mom and how anxious she was. And even though in my book I talk about trying to be her caretaker at a very early age, thus the title, Am I Going to Be Okay? That's what she would say all the time. And as a 5-year-old, I'm like, yes, Mom. Yes, of course you're going to be okay. Put it into first, push on the clutch, break it, whatever, at 5 years old. But I soaked that all in. We little kids, right? And so I kind of had a steady IV drip of anxiety from the people I was around. IV, drip. So I soaked that in. There wasn't really much going on in my house. That was calm. Not blaming anyone. It's not about that, but it's what has been handed down through the generations. So I think the environment of anxiety, but trying to pretend you don't have it. They don't want to see smile on your face. I don't want to see any more crying. I cried all the time. I was afraid all the time. And so anxiety is like the feeling that I'm what-ifing all the time. Anxiety is what if, right? So the whole idea about anxiety is it progresses if we don't treat it, we don't talk to someone and really be eye to eye, and I tell you and you tell me. That's what I love about my groups. And if it's not treated, it progresses to depression. And then the anxiety takes over and we cannot function, right? So it's like when we're in 3rd grade and the teacher asks you to go to the board to do a math problem, and I'm putting the chalk on the board and I don't know my name. Anxiety is flushed right through my head. I can't talk. I can't remember. That's severe anxiety. And that can really kind of hang in somebody's whole soul to where you can't concentrate. You can't sleep, right? You can't. Depression is one thing. The anxiety, I think, is the worst part. I think for me, when I went through this, I would wake up in the morning when I was really struggling with anxiety and depression and trust. I probably you can relate to this. I would wake up thinking I have all day, and then I couldn't wait to go to bed because it was like, thank goodness. Yeah. Be relieved of that. And this anxiety, that feeling, that's why for me, my first drink was, which is a funny story. It's not really a long story. I was a foreign exchange student, right? So I'm going from my tiny little village of Delancey, New York, to Mexico City. And you could drink on the plane. I had just turned 18. New York to Houston, no. Houston to Mexico City, oh my gosh. And I'm the type of person who does not have one of anything. So I've been addictive in nature early on. Not one drink, not one brownie, not one nothing. So I drank the entire way from Houston, Mexico City, 2 hours worth, because I just wanted more. And they poured me out of the plane, and my host family met me in the airport waiting area. And I'm like, hi, I'm your new daughter, representing the United States, drunk as, but I loved it. And I chased that feeling of, I love this blank feeling. Like, I love this, and I said a swear word. And I'll never forget it. And I chased that for about 28 years. It was phenomenal. Normal drinkers don't react that way to like a first drink or remember their first drink. Normal, social, whatever. It's not really that big of a deal. For me, it calmed all that ailed me and a lot of socially uncomfortable people. Most people who are socially uncomfortable. That's why college, I mean, they're nuts in college. You know, they're just drinking up a storm because now they know how to meet people. They're, oh my gosh, I'm Joe, and now I can talk to people. And if they're not drinking, they're sitting by themselves, isolated in a corner.
Mm-hmm.
So anxiety just is so pervasive. Yeah. And so, again, the whole idea is a lot of breathing because we forget to breathe. I know sometimes I do. And then, I used to hold my breath a lot when I was little. Again, no blaming. It's just was my coping, right? Because my parents both were raised in difficult situations. And so were their parents and back. So we dissolve all blame, let that go. But this is my story, and you guys have your story, and you have yours, Trust. So that I want to feel really good on the inside about me, I have to breathe, and I have to really know that I can be okay with me. I don't have to run to find a person, a place, or a thing.
Or a liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anxiety really hits everyone. And not everyone gets to a point where they can't function, but most people really do. And the teens of today are just filled to the brim with it. We all are. But they have no idea what living with freedom from the bondage of that anxiety is at all. Not at all.
Have you ever, I have the strangest question. Have you ever met anyone who becomes addicted to the anxiety? Even when life kind of calms down, they just have to have that to keep them going and moving and dodging and darting in order to just kind of keep themselves at peace.
What they think, right? So these are the people who are masters of keeping busy, right? How do we be okay? Am I going to be okay if I keep busy? Everyone gets that well-meaning, unsolicited advice, especially if you're grieving. Keep busy. Well, if that worked, then we wouldn't be so exhausted, not be able to sleep. Our minds race when we finally do hit the pillow. And I know for me, I'm depleted, and I'm guilty of that. I want to do everything. So I'm going to say yes to the 2 or 3 or 4 new clients because I love it. I'm working on my second book. I want to talk to you guys every day, and I'll say yes to that. And last night I went to a Light of Life mission, which is a shelter here in Pittsburgh, to learn how to volunteer. Of course I did. What? With what extra time? So when I'm feeling good and say yes to things, that's good. I just don't know that I'm overwhelmed until I'm off the cliff, hanging by the thread. So I'm still working on that kind of thing, which is balance.
Right. In fact, I was going to say, like, recently, I just figured that out myself. So I literally just hired a manager for the ladies.
Yes.
Hold 1 second. I'm so sorry to do this for you, but I'm supposed to plug said manager. And this is the first time I've ever been able to do it. Obelix Management, Dr. Ayala and the Arjun. Okay, I apologize, people, really so much.
But
it was the first time.
Wonderful to be able to have someone to help. That's all.
And it just feels like it was so great because Winona and we actually got to be on Trust's show because we had a manager and we didn't have to manage. So it was nice.
Oh, yes, it was amazing.
It was funny because Jay turns to me the other day, and although I have a manager, right, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not sure if the manager does this. So I went ahead and I started doing 3 bookings while we were in London, and she turns to me and she goes, but why?
Why did we pay him?
She's like, why are we paying her then? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm not. She's like, what? You're not what? And I'm like, I don't need to do any of this.
But it takes time for us to do this. And my social media lady yelled at me and she said, why are you reposting things I already did? Because that's what I was doing. And although I want the help, it's kind of hard to let go of some of it. You know, that's such an adjustment. And I don't have anyone yet, but I would love to be able to. But what I again, that balance.
Yeah.
trust and all that kind of thing. But
I'm going to say Jade said it comes with maturity, because it's my third business and we were together. And I've always just like held on to those reins for dear life.
Normally I have to like pry it out of her hand. And then just so to see her, and I said, this comes with maturity. This comes with knowing your limits. And I've always preached to know your limits. I'm a tired, but I get worn out. Not tired, but I will pack everything into a day. 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm done. Like, don't ask me anything. I'm going to bed. I have no more time left. I'll be like, I love you. Call me in the middle of the night if something is really horrible happening. Like, I will come. I will go. But outside, all my friends know, 9:30, don't call Jay. She's probably asleep.
And so boundaries are hard for us, right? Boundaries are hard.
Yes.
And that's one thing for me.
I'm sorry, Trust. Is there anything that you wanted to say? Because you've been sitting over there doing like poses, like
I know, looking fabulous.
I'm soaking up all of this wonderful information because, as I said before, I mean, I had periods where I suffered with anxiety, like really, really bad. But I mean, I can agree with having someone having a balance and having also someone outside of my family to speak to, and just to elaborate on that more, like, with you two ladies, Winona and Jade, like, you guys are an outlet. You know, I've known them since 2009, and they can tell you, like, the growth that I have had since 2009, and just having them to be able to talk to, call, FaceTime, you know, cry to, and everything, it just makes it that much better, because for some reason, it's like, your family just doesn't understand you, even though they're going through the same thing too, but it's just like they don't know how to help you because they're trying to deal with their own monsters or whatever that's going on in their head. And I mean, it's just so true. And I believe as far as the generations, because I saw my mom being very anxious. And as a child, I didn't realize that it was anxiety. And even when I began to develop it, I didn't even realize that it was anxiety that I had. But I had it so bad, like, if I would have to get up and go to work or something, like, I would be sweating. I can't find my shoes. I can't find my keys. I can't this. And I used to just be like, you know what? I'm calling in. I'm not going to work today.
That's right. And this what ifing. What if I can't find my keys? And what if? And then all of a sudden it's a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Excellent. Good progress. Fantastic.
Yes, thank you. And thank you two ladies also, because you guys have played a very big part in helping me.
Well, you know that, as we know, I mean, hey, I'm glad that you think I did help you and that we helped you. And literally you have come a far way. And I know, and I've known you for a very long time. And it's very great to see the progress, and just keep it up and do what you're doing, because you're going to do a great job. And that's all
I was going to say, Ms. Whittam, it was amazing, like, when Trust actually emailed us about your show. I was like, wow, she's so grown now. But anyway, the two of us have been chatting at the top, like, for the last 15 to 20 seconds. Let's focus again on the guests.
Yes, because
you have a new book coming up.
Yay.
You just said you're writing your second book. So I know you're taking extra long time on the show, but let's just go with this. I need to know what this is about. Actually, I know what it's about, but I want to hear it again.
Okay. So if you read my first book, which is a memoir / self-help book about my life with my mom and my dad and my whole family, and how the untreated mental illness and the untreated addiction and the unacknowledged grief, which flows through everyone's tree, every family tree, impacted me and my siblings and I, especially when we're little. Right. And so this, in the book, I talk about when my dad was 16 and was lost in the Adirondack Mountains for 5 days. And I touched on it a little bit in the book, just enough to get a feel of it. But this second book, which I have decided I'm writing 3 books, I'm going to call it a trilogy of miracles. So the first one is that this second one's going to be called I'm Not Alone, I'm on My Own. And it's about these 5 days that my dad spent in the woods alone. And of course, he wasn't listening to his mom at the time. He was 16. She said, wear a hat. Nope. Wear gloves. Nope. Bring food. Nope. Nothing. It would, he had a light windbreaker on. And fog rolled in to where he was, and he had shot a deer. And as he went into the woods, he could feel himself just going in circles and circles. And there's this phenomenon that I have heard that when people are lost, particularly in the woods, and become disoriented, you absolutely can really go almost like insane immediately. Mm-hmm. There is a break that happens up here. So the story is about these 5 days, step by step, and how my dad felt, what he remembered feeling and thinking as he realized he was only going deeper in the woods. The fog came in. He could not find his way out. So I'll have little vignettes in there about my decline into mental illness and going into the hospital for a week when I was suicidal and absolutely at the depths of despair, major depressive episode. So I'm linking these stories where the fog came in to my life, and I could feel it. And the link is my dad had to decide whether he was going to live or die. And he said he remembers this as being, and he'll never forget it. He's 82 now, but he'll never forget it. And he decided to live. He had his father's voice in the back of his head, and he had told his boys when they were hunting, if you get lost and you feel this feeling coming on, you're going to have to straighten up, right? Straighten up. And my dad listened to that. And he said that helped him come out so that the next day he was okay. So when this might be a little bit too much information, but when I was going down into the depths of despair, still trying to take care of 2 kids, teenagers, they were all a mess. Marriage was breaking up, in grad school, whatever. 3 years sober, and then I became suicidal. And it was like an eclipse, like this, all of me wanted to live, and I could feel slowly, but surely, until just a sliver of me wanted to live. And then I went to the hospital, and it's a long story, but I went into the hospital because I did want to live. And I went into the ER, psych ER, and the nurse said, do you want to kill yourself? And I'll never forget this. And I said, yes, your scissors look good. I didn't want to kill myself. I wanted to die. Yes. Or I wanted to die, but not kill myself. And when I say that to patients, and I remember that box in there, that's where we come, right? That's where I came, and that's where my dad did too. So the correlation of the depression and what he went through, and transformation comes mostly when we get to that point of I'm going to live or I'm going to die. And if I'm going to choose death, that might be immediate or eventual. I'm going to drink, drug, whatever myself to death. It's good, but I'm going to do can I say this, an effort all the way down. That's what I've decided. If I'm going to go this route and I'm going to live, it's going to be unfamiliar. Without alcohol, it's going to be unfamiliar. I'm going to be with therapists. And this is hard, but the transformation is amazing. So it's about transformation and taking those 2 stories. It's listening to my dad talk about it. It's amazing. So that's what that book is about, that miracle in itself.
I'm pre-ordering that.
I know. Now I'm already pre-ordering that.
Thank you.
So, okay.
Quickly, because we literally
wrap
have
up.
5 minutes, you guys. Let's run through this as fast as we possibly can. Do you mind wrapping up? And I'm going to do this. Plug. So, Trust. Where is
I actually wanted to know, is the book on Kindle?
My first book is, yes, Am I Going to Be Okay is on Kindle. It's on Amazon.
I'm going to have to check that out because it sounds very interesting. Like I'm going to want to read it.
I would love for you to read the first one. Now, the second one, that I'm not alone, I'm on my own. I'm still writing that one. And then the third one is going to be, I don't know yet. But
it'll come to you. So, Trust Simon, where can everyone find you?
Everyone can find me on YouTube at Trust Simon, and also TrustSimonAngel@gmail.com if you want to contact me.
Thank you. Miss Debra?
So I loved being on your show. I love seeing you guys. Trust, it was so amazing to meet you.
Yes, it was amazing to meet you also. Thank
you. So my website is www.Debra, Debra Whittam, WHITTAM.com. And I have my events posted. I've been writing quite a few blogs. And so, yeah, you can find me there.
Oh, and they're really good, you guys. I read them. So,
and she has the tattoo.
Yes.
So, like, if you think she looks cute with the hair, You gotta check out the website.
Yes.
It's like super hot, cool.
Super everything. So as you guys know, we are Jade and Winona of the And I Thought Ladies and the authors of the And I Thought series.
And today, the public speaking group, which is here. Okay.
4 people, excitement. So here we go. We have 4 books right now. And I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons. And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy. And I Thought I Could Juggle It All. And I Thought I Did My Journey Alone.
This book, okay, we need hope, positive goodwills, and thinkings, because I'm going to say it 2 times this time. Yes, because we really do need this so we can actually get nominated. This book is available for pre-order on Kindle, not actually available for sale yet, and everything else is available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. That includes the new book.
And you can always check us out on andwethought.com, which is our website, or Scarlet Black at scarletrBlack.com, which talks about our
domestic abuse program.
Yeah.
So for people out there who have been in a domestic abuse relationship and want to have a transition of life, we try to facilitate that because it's not easy. Yeah. Scarlet does. It's not easy to do after someone has torn you down. It's hard to rebuild. Hey, we always know that. Also, if you guys can give us good wills and wishing and hopes also, because we are being considered for a television show. Anyway. Sorry. Okay. Quickly, you guys. Give us the tagline. We're going to wrap 3 minutes and counting.
We're going to wrap it up. And so wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. Goodbye, you guys.
Peace and love.
Nona and Jay.
And everyone else.